Fuller-fitness, and man, I sure hope you enjoy this video with all the stuff I went through trying to put it together. I was trying to use one thing and trying to use my iPad, and they kept saying something about updating my storage, trying to do that, and it wasn't working. So again, hopefully you actually enjoy this, because man, I went through a lot trying to do it. Trying to share my fun, and my iPad wouldn't let me do it. So this is another series of working out at home. Yes, I'm outside, but I'm still at home. So if you're in your backyard, your front yard, or wherever it is, and whatever you have available, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that with whatever you're using. I am currently and specifically using a Atlas soft stone, the slash medicine ball. The Atlas soft stone that I am using is 100 pounds, almost at 150. I have done that, but that's not what this one is. It's 100 pounds. The good thing about me using the stuff that I'm going to be using in the videos I'm doing for you guys is the fact that it just becomes starts to become obvious in terms of how to use the loads. So for certain people that are watching this, it's like, oh, 100 pounds, that's nothing. But I probably would have felt that way too. Actually, that's why the first Atlas soft stone I bought was 150 pounds, and that's one of the reasons I bought it. Because I'm thinking, I can move 150 pounds easily. But at the same time, after I bought it, it was just like, man, 150 pounds at the gym is so different compared to this, and that was before I actually got it. Then once I got it, it's just like, oh man, that thing's so big, I should be able to lift it, but what am I going to be able to do with it? So that was almost 2 years ago. So depending on how many of my videos you've seen me do quite a bit with it. But even before I got it, it was just like, I don't know, I'm not sure what I can do with it. I know what I plan on doing with it, but let me get it, because I won't know until I try. So now here I am with this 100-pound ball, and there's a bunch of stuff I plan on doing, but there's one thing I'm hoping to do. I did it, I think, maybe one time that I can remember, but I was inside, and I spent more time worrying about possibly dropping it and breaking stuff. So now being outside, I should have the freedom to go ahead and turn up and hopefully do what I want to do without having any issues, because there's nothing out here for me to break other than the ball or myself, and I think the ball will be fine, and I believe I will be awesome. So like I said, the goal is to press it up over my head. All right, so and then hopefully with good form too. One more. So trying to, whatever the load is that you're using, to not only to pick it up, to do at least one thing, to just pick it up, and then to actually try to press it up over your head. So I'm not doing a bunch of sets and reps with that. This is more of a review slash show and tell. So I'm not going to do a lot with that. If you are interested, I'm doing more. I'm not completing a video, but if you're interested in live online workouts, it's a good thing to try before you buy. So if you would like to try a live online workout, to where you're working out at home, outside, or wherever, I'll have a link under the video, but if you go to fuller-fitness.square.site, so that way we can actually discuss how this can work for you, as well as giving you a trial of a 30-minute workout. So a free live online consultation and a free 30-minute workout if you're actually interested in doing something like that. If you want personal training, And then if you're in Rochester, New York, and you're interested in in-person training, same thing. We meet or have a live online consultation on an app that I use. And then same thing, you get a 30-minute workout to see if you like the workout, if you don't mind having someone like me as your trainer and believe I can actually help you achieve what you want to achieve, and then we go from there. Alright, so again, you press it up over your head, but I hope you're not arching much, if at all. Okay, so again, to challenge yourself, by doing that, I'm challenging myself, because again, I wasn't sure if I can do it, especially to see if I can do it without hurting my back, or to actually be able to press it up over my head, not because of the weight, but this ball is just so darn big. It just changes things in terms of you lifting a dumbbell or a barbell. This is different, which is why I'm glad I have it. It's just so different. And then for those of us that are a certain age and grew up a certain way, I'm 35, so to grow up in a certain way, one more, grow up in a certain way to where you're doing a lot of certain things. Some people do a lot of push-ups, which is fine. Do a lot of push-ups, a lot of pull-ups, which I love. Dips, a lot of dips, a lot of squatting. Some people might have done a lot of deadlifting, so it's not saying anything is wrong with that, because I do all of those. But if that's all that you do, that could and likely should become boring to everyone after a certain point. So then it's like, what else can I or should I do other than bench press, deadlift, squats, push-ups? So obviously that depends on what you have available and if you can actually do it. So my point for that is just the fact that I wish I had this or something like it before, but you know, I found out about these Atlas soft stones almost 2 years ago, or if not 2 years ago, and thankfully I've been blessed to get them, and hopefully not only to have fun myself, but to show you guys, because you just saw me do two things, and there's so much more you can do, and it also depends on how much, how heavy or not your Atlas soft stone is, or any medicine ball that you have. So yes, they can be expensive, but depending on, you know, a lot of us buy expensive stuff depending on what it is. So it'll be an awesome investment if you do this. I don't get paid if you buy this. I'm just sharing my opinion because I love using these. And you know, depending on how many of my videos you've seen me use these other times also. But yet, hopefully at each time you saw me use any of these, you saw me do something at least a little bit different. So I'm about to squat now, which is interesting because I'm already down here. So the good thing about squatting with that, or anything like it, which is why I turned to the side, is usually you squat and you're up here with a bar for a lot of us. So with me having this ball, it's more of a challenge to have this ball in front of me and to arch. So hopefully hold it, bear hug it, and go ahead and do your squats. So I want to do hamstrings, straight leg deadlift, but this ball is so big, and I don't want that to be the one thing that bothers my back. But I'm gonna give it a try. That's the interesting thing about trying stuff, you don't know until you try. So, and again, with this version of deadlift, I've lifted heavier, but this is so different. So, yeah, there we go. So picking it up part is not the hard part. So here, 1, straight leg deadlift, 2, 3, and 4. It depends on you in terms of why you do that. But I just did squats, and that's getting here and here. But then to do deadlifts, one of the reasons I do it is because it works the hamstring. It also gets the calves, the glutes, and the low back all at the same time. So that's the awesome thing about using or doing that exercise, whether you have a bar, dumbbells, or whatever. So to have this, depending on how heavy it is and then how big it is, you see how big it is. It's not only working all that stuff in the back, but then the fact that once I pick it up, or you pick it up if you do it, you got this big ass heavy thing in front of you. And then trying to use the form to not arch like crazy, not hurt your back, and then to bear hug it the whole time for that. So, you know, let me see. I don't remember if I did this yet. And to add to, and this is an actual workout. In fact, I've done more than I wanted to because of the issues I was having trying to record my iPad earlier. So, I've been very busy and active and sweaty today trying to record, to share my fun. So, hopefully you enjoy this video at least a little bit. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you share it. Even if you might not like it all that much, if you know someone else who just might, hopefully you don't mind sharing it with others, or just in case they like it. That would, be awesome for, the person to be thankful to you for sharing it, as well as me being thankful for you to share it. And then hopefully you like this enough to subscribe. More, and then I'm actually going to try to curl it. I don't know about doing tricep extension. That's a whole different bit of crazy with this. Yeah. Catch my breath a little bit and then try to curl it. The interesting thing about using certain equipment is knowing how to use it, trying to figure out how fast to go, how heavy to lift, if you can lift certain things at all, and then depending on what kind of workouts you're doing, maybe having someone with you, especially if you have stuff like this, so you can pass it back and forth, or hand it back and forth, or however you try to get certain things to work. So, it's man, I think I mentioned it in one of my other videos over the last week or so, but it's funny because with me being an owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness, it's funny because I'll tell my clients about me getting certain equipment, and especially with getting these. Like, hey, I'm getting a 150-pound ball. Hey, I'm getting a 100-pound ball. Hey, I'm getting a 50-pound ball. And I was like, what? Why? Like, and just hearing those reactions from my clients, especially the ladies, because the ladies are usually the ones who have that reaction. Like, what? Why? do I have to do that? And it's just man, it's funny hearing some of the stuff you hear from certain people, specifically me, being the owner and trainer of my business, and hearing certain reactions when I do certain things or get certain equipment. You know, so the good thing is some people have trainers or coaches, and the trainer or coach asks you to do certain things. And one of the questions that is in your head, and you might actually ask out loud, like, "Can you do it?" So that's the good thing about me doing this stuff. Um, is you can actually, for those who, uh, especially if they see this before they possibly hire me or even subscribe, but you don't have to ask if I can do it because you're actually watching me do it. So so all right. So on to the next exercise, which again is going to be I'm going to try a bicep curl. I should say I have no idea if I can do it. I don't remember trying it. I don't even know if I thought of it. Because I usually prefer to do dumbbells. So for the sake of a challenge, and for the sake of doing something different, so we're about to find out together if I can actually do it. T. Alright. So, I don't know if that can count as a curl. Alright, the goal is to try to curl it, but it's so darn big and it's hard to tell, probably hard to tell for you watching, but even for me, I'll feel it later, I believe, but I'll feel it later, but so in terms of curling, and then in terms of getting on the floor and doing a tricep curl, like I want to. I don't know. It's almost like why not, but I meant to bring a mat out here. Oh my goodness, yeah. I'm gonna leave that one alone for this time. Uh, I'm gonna leave that alone this time in terms of doing a tricep extension. Make sure I don't crush my head. I don't think I'm physically or mentally ready to do a tricep extension there. I usually don't even do tricep extensions that much, so I probably shouldn't have said anything, but I'm gonna leave that one alone because I was excited about it. I was also nervous about it, but I'm gonna leave that one alone for this time. So the one thing I didn't do on video, I've done versions of it, but I don't know if I did it the way I'm gonna do it this time. So I think I'm gonna go this way first and then turn around and come back, and then you'll see what I'm doing. But the goal is everything I'm doing is working the abs, so I don't have to do a lot, neither do you. So for those that think they got to do a overabundance of ab exercises to look and feel a certain way, in my opinion, you don't. But I'm not trying that hard to do that anymore. Because it's just boring to me. So I prefer to lift heavy and be kind of swole. So I just stick to that. But again, I'm gonna do ab twists with this, but I'm actually gonna walk. So I'm gonna walk that way first and then come back, and then you can see it at least from that angle. So that is specifically for the abs. And then another thing to keep in mind is when you're doing ab stuff, you're also working your back to a certain degree too. So the reason I bring that up is people doing too much, and I'm not sure if it's because they don't know better or they just think they have to, which is I think goes into not knowing any better. So I'm specifically working my abs right now with this. I'm gonna go this way first and then come back. So the goal is to pick this bad boy up, obviously. Yeah. And then Okay. Holy sugar. It's that's an interesting exercise, because not only to have this big mofo in front of you, but then to turn, and then even more so to walk back and forth doing that. Holy sugar. That is the interesting thing is, I've done twists, but I don't think I ever did it walking. So again, not only to challenge you guys, but to challenge you as well, the clients, or even those just watching this stuff sometimes. If you have up to this point been watching the video the whole time, I thank you. If you watch this video at all, I thank you. And if you watch it the whole time, I definitely thank you for doing that. Because you don't have to. So for those who took it upon yourself to do that, I thank you so much. And then if you share it with someone, even if you didn't necessarily like it, which is weird, but even